I'm good. I'ma always be scared. I'm not scared to admit it. I'm a scared little. Hey, I saw this comment. For anybody that doesn't know, there's been some Shannon Sharp allegations going on, and on TikTok, I saw this comment that was on this video talking about it, and on the comment said, "She lied." Wait. So for anybody that doesn't know, there's some Shannon Sharp allegations going on. And I just seen it all over TikTok. But I was watching this video, and one of the comments was like, "She lied. She tried. Case denied. Lakers in 5." Oh, man. Yo, that age gap is serious. Y'all still have text messages? In the audio? Oh, man. What the hell is going on? I swear, the higher people get up in life, they try to knock you down. Jesus, man. Y'all be safe out here. Sup? Let's go.
Mark was a college student.
I have been reacting to Mr. Nightmare for so long. I still get scared. Why did I jump? God damn. Oh, okay, let's go.
Living in Indiana.
Nope.
His house was...
Nope, I need to start it from the beginning. I'm sorry. Oh, you got your snacks, Cuddle Bunny, and your Adidas. Check.
Mark was a college student living in Indiana. His house was quiet and sat next to some woods. During the day, everything felt normal, but at night, the woods made the place feel strange.
It's the woods.
Behind his house, under the patio, there was a hot tub. That's where everything happened. It was Saturday night, March 29th, around 12:30 a.m. Spring break was ending and school was starting again soon.
Right.
Mark had his 3 close friends over, Kyle, Keenan, and Derek. They were spending one last night hanging out. They were in the garage, playing pool, blasting music, and drinking. Everyone was laughing and having fun. It felt like a good night. After a while, Kyle said they should go in the hot tub. It was cold outside, so the warm water sounded even better.
You know, all right. All right. In my mind, I was like, why are your cars covered up? But it's inside the garage. Then I realized the garage is also like a social area. So it's like, you want to protect. I get it. Got it.
Everyone agreed. They got changed into swim trunks, grabbed their drinks, and went into the hot tub. The warm water...
I'm not gonna lie. The way the hot tub is covered up, that shit looks sus as hell.
As they talked, made jokes, and didn't pay attention to the time. Then they heard something. It was the sound of sticks breaking, like footsteps coming from the woods. It didn't sound like an animal. It sounded like a person. They all went quiet and looked around. Keenan tried to calm everyone down and said it was probably nothing. The others laughed, but it was more to stop feeling nervous. They turned the music up louder and tried to keep talking.
What?
About 10 minutes later...
So hold on. Wait a minute now. Y'all notice that cluck shit? That's probably like a few feet. Not that far, close as hell to you. Y'all notice the cluck shit. I'm gonna be like, you know what? That's probably nothing. Or that probably is something. But let's just go ahead and turn up the volume a couple of notches. I hope all y'all get clucked up. Because on me, that first crack, I'm already in the house.
A man walked out of the woods. He stepped into the light from the patio. He was wearing a long black coat, white sweatpants, and a gaming headset. His eyes were...
Wow, he got a lot going on with that setup that he got, Long black coat. It's 95 degrees outside. What? I don't know. I forgot the time and places took already.
Wide, and his face didn't show any feeling. Everyone jumped. They yelled at him and asked who he was and what he was doing. The man raised his hands and said his name was Seth. He said he was 33 years old and he heard them laughing and wanted to join. The guys just looked at each other, confused. Mark told him to leave, but he didn't listen. Instead, Seth took off his coat, then his shoes, and then his pants.
What? Oh! What kind of shoes was it? What kind of shoes? I need to go back. Oh, Puma! Toby! This motherfucker got Pumas on. Pumas! He got Pumas! I'm sorry. I spit all over you. You alright? Do you still eat? Do you still work? I just want to, I haven't plugged you up in a minute. I just want to know if you work. Let me see. Hey, you work! Okay. He a clock ass for real. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why Mr. Nightmare is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. You ever see those videos? It's that black guy. Oh my God. I love when YouTubers put in the actual footage or the real photo or audio of the actual event of the cluck shits that happened. Oh man. Yeah, he got them. Where's his socks at? Where does he think he about to go?
He was now in only his underwear. Then he got into the hot tub. No one knew what to say.
Why did y'all let him get that far? Alright. See, that night I'm ending all relationships. That night I'm ending all relationships. I'm changing my number. I'm moving that night. Don't ever talk to me ever again. Because that was like, how did he... Y'all watch this man undress himself and get... Like, how did he... The fact that he's in the hot tub right now.
Mark pulled out his phone and started recording. Not for fun, but because the whole thing felt unreal. This was the footage he captured.
Oh. Is a black guy in there? Oh, no. See what I'm saying? Like... It's like y'all wanted it to be featured in the Mr. Nightmare video. Now y'all got that shit. That doesn't make any damn sense. He might cluck all y'all up, to be honest with you. I mean, that is, oh my God. That's stupid.
Wait. I just lost the drink right there. What was over here?
They started asking Seth questions, like where he came from and if he knew anyone there. He just kept saying he heard them laughing and wanted to hang out. Then he said something really disturbing. He said he had molested a child. That changed everything, obviously.
Really? That's the moment everything changed? It wasn't the fact that he came out the woods!
The guys jumped out of the hot tub and started yelling at him to leave. They pulled him out of the water. Seth...
So you saying, I'm sorry, I keep pausing. I'm in so much disbelief right now. I'm just saying, that's when y'all realize, that's when shit, that like, when he said he did what he did, so it was, so if he never would have said that, shit would have been cool. Shit would have been sunshines and rainbows. Alright.
Didn't try to stop them. He just stood there, dripping wet and staring. Then he slowly walked back into the woods without saying anything. The group ran inside and locked all the doors. Some of them laughed nervously, trying to shake it off, but Mark and Kyle didn't feel okay. They felt like it wasn't over. About 15 minutes passed. Kyle said they should go back out to lock the hot tub. Mark said okay. So they got flashlights and stepped outside. That's when Mark saw something next to the hot tub. It was a phone. He picked it up and saw the screen light up. Whatever was on the lock screen made him drop the phone. He didn't say what it was, but it scared him. He said he thought Seth would come back, so they ran inside and told the others. Everyone tried to stay calm. Then they heard a tapping sound on the window.
Jesus.
Mark already knew who it was. He opened the curtain, and wouldn't you know it, Seth was standing right there. His face was pale, his eyes were wide open, and he had a creepy smile. He didn't say anything, he didn't move, he just stared. Mark yelled for Kyle. Kyle ran in and called the police. Mark grabbed a bat and went to the front door. He yelled for Seth to leave and take his phone. Seth didn't answer. Instead, he slowly walked around the side of the house. Mark followed a little bit and looked through the patio window. Seth was standing there again, staring inside. Mark told him the cops were coming and that he needed to leave, but Seth didn't move. He just slowly raised his hand and waved once. Then he turned and walked back into the woods. The police arrived a few minutes later. The guys told them everything. The officers searched the woods and found Seth standing alone, just looking toward the house. They arrested him for trespassing, and everyone thought it was over. But Mark didn't feel that way. A few days later, he saw a post on Snapchat from a girl who lived nearby. It was a video. It showed another man, not Seth, trying to break into her house late at night. That's what bothered Mark the most. It meant Seth might not be the only one out there. There could be more. They could be connected, and they might not be done.
That's crazy.
A few years ago, 3 high school friends named Beck, Matthew, and Tyler decided to explore a sewer tunnel in their...
Alright. If I ever came across something like this, I'm stopping right outside. If it's that dark to the point you just can't see no more, I'm not going in there. I'm not going in that. You got it.
Neighborhood. It was winter and very cold outside. The tunnel was at the edge of their neighborhood, under a small creek next to some office buildings. These buildings were empty and dark at night. The boys had seen the tunnel before, but never went inside of it. It always looked creepy, and they joked about it, but deep down they were curious. That night, they finally decided to go in. They brought sleds with them, thinking it would help if someone asked what they were doing.
Sleds?
They knew they weren't allowed to be there, but they wanted to do something exciting.
What?
Just as they pulled into the parking lot, a police car showed up. A police officer got out and asked what they were doing there. Someone had apparently seen them on the security camera. Tyler quickly said that they were just going sledding. The officer looked at them for a moment, then told them to leave. So they left, but only for a little while. After driving around for about 30 minutes, they came back. This time, they parked farther away, behind a building where no one could see them. They walked down a hill behind the buildings. They could see their breath in the cold, crisp air. They stood in front of the tunnel, noting how big, round, and completely dark inside it was. They turned on their flashlights and walked in.
You need somebody on the outside. If you're going to do some shit like that, have somebody on the outside. And I'm nervous as hell right now because I'm seeing this video. Hold on.
Turn off your light, everybody. Yeah. Dude, this is... Oh, look at the game, dude. Oh, 6, 19. 19. Oh my god, this is dead. Dude, how do we...
Why do people still film like this? I hate when they film. All right, like I get it. Because of social media and stuff. You got YouTube Shorts. You got Instagram Reels. You got TikTok. I get it. For the vertical is like the long way. And horizontal is the sideways. I'm just saying, like, damn.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Inside the tunnel, the ground was dry. It was quiet, except for the sound of water dripping deeper in. The walls had graffiti all over them. Most of it looked old, but one thing caught their eye. A date was spray painted in large red numbers. 6/19/19. The paint looked newer than the rest, like it was done recently. That made them feel uneasy. Their flashlights weren't very
That's the only thing that made him feel uneasy. That's the only thing. I promise you, there's a good, strong 5 things that make me uneasy right now. And I promise you it's not that deep.
And didn't shine very far. Still, they kept walking and acting tough, but deep down they were nervous. The farther they went, the colder it got. The temperature was dropping fast. Even though they were underground, they could still see their breath. The walls looked like they had ice on them. Big icicles hung down from the ceiling. Some were huge and sharp.
Keep it slow. Oh, I see a light down there, see it?
That's crazy how far that goes down.
What's that? Hello?
Shut up. I don't see nothing.
Should we keep going? Should we keep going?
I don't see nothing.
Dude, these icicles can like impale you, dude. Look how
Oh, Jesus.
Suddenly, a loud cracking sound echoing from further down the tunnel sends the group fleeing in fear. The sound resembled something heavy hitting stone. It wasn't any of them. The sound came from deeper inside the tunnel, too far to see. They tripped, slid, and bumped into each other as they rushed to get out. When they got outside, they were shaking and breathing hard. That's when Beck noticed his phone was missing. He had dropped it while they were running. Tyler and Matthew told him to forget about it. They didn't want to go back in, but Beck didn't listen.
Man.
He grabbed his flashlight and started walking toward the tunnel again. The others followed, but they didn't want to. The tunnel felt different this time. It felt even darker. The air felt heavy and strange, like something was wrong. Their flashlights didn't work as well, and the silence was even worse than before. It felt like something was watching them.
I feel like we're talking that like a little emptier over here. Like somewhere over here. Now if you go over here this way.
dude, that's where we fucking heard the noise.
Shit, dude. Do I have to go back there?
Yeah.
First, bro.
What kind of pants are those? Is that Adidas? I can't tell. It kind of looks like Adidas. Okay. But his shoes they not, I can assure you, he don't got nothing Adidas on him. You're not about to do Adidas dirty like that. Hell. That looks like an off-brand version called Adidas. Them big ass fucking. What's that monster called? That be in the woods? Not the werewolf. Bigfoot. Them Bigfoot looking ass shoes.
You're going first, bro.
We're not leading the way. Yeah, somebody else lead the way, please.
No, it's your phone.
At some point off camera, Beck found his phone. Afterwards, the group continued deeper into the tunnel and
So what we doing? What we doing? The mother clucker that was deeper in the tunnel that made that boom sound. That wasn't a sign? That wasn't a red flag? Huh? That wasn't a sign that be like, hey, I need to get the hell out of here. This is my shits. That was a sign. I would have took that sign and hauled ass and never came back. I got insurance. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to get a new phone tomorrow. We good. Because me and AT&T, we got it like that. But nah, y'all just want to bypass all the red flags, all the cluck signs, and just go back in there. Y'all should have just grabbed the phone and then went back out. Clock all y'all.
eating. And that's when they heard a sound.
No, it must have hit like here or something.
A loud scream came from deeper in the tunnel. It didn't sound like a person. It didn't sound like an animal either. It was something else. It was low and high at the same time, like more than one voice screaming together. It echoed off the walls and felt like it was getting closer. They didn't wait. They turned and ran as fast as they could. This time, no one talked, no one looked back. They just ran. They got to the car, jumped in, and drove away without stopping. The car ride back was mostly silent. The three friends thought it was over when they all got home. They were ready to move on with their lives. But late that night, Beck's doorbell rang twice. This was at some off hour in the night. When Beck's dad went to answer the door, nobody was there. This, of course, begs the question, were the boys followed home that night? Or was it simply a very unfortunately timed ding-dong ditch? That remains a mystery. The night left more questions than answers for the three friends. But they all heard the noises, and of course got it on video. Perhaps it was something they weren't meant to stumble upon.
At least put the phone back. You don't come all the way to my house, ring the doorbell 2 times, doorbell, loud as shit, woke up everybody in the house. And you not put my phone back? I know you got my phone. At least put it back. If you're not going to do that, then what you doing?
A man named Connor took a construction job far from home as part of a 3-month accommodation program. The pay was decent, and he needed every dollar.
Right.
He wasn't in the best place financially, and the bonus of working alongside his longtime friend Jim made the opportunity more appealing. They figured it would be a nice change of pace. Extra cash, time away from home, and some peace from the chaos of everyday life. The job itself wasn't bad. A few weeks in, Ryan had adjusted well to the routine, but the area they were stationed in was remote, deep in rural countryside. There were long, winding roads with barely any signs of life. It wasn't unusual to go miles without seeing a single home. Ryan had always loved the outdoors, and he saw this isolation as a chance to unplug. Most of his coworkers blew their weekends drinking, but Ryan had different plans. He wanted solitude. He wanted quiet. So when Friday rolled around, he packed his gear and prepared for a weekend of hiking and camping deep within the woods. A narrow trailhead just 5 minutes from his temporary accommodation became his entry point. Within 20 minutes, he was deep in the forest. The only sound was the wind and the crunch of his boots. He smoked a couple joints as he made his way further in, letting the stress just melt away. The isolation was comforting for him. Well, at first. Around 7 p.m., the sun began to sink behind the treetops. Shadows stretched long across the trail. Ryan knew it was time to find a place to settle. That's when he noticed something unusual. There was a scent in the air, burning firewood, and a light layer of smoke drifted between the trees. At first, it seemed normal. Maybe another camper, maybe a local. But then, he caught something just barely in the corner of his vision. The faint orange glow of fire flickering through the trees. Curious and confident, Ryan left the trail and headed towards the source. He wasn't scared. He trained in combat sports during his teens and stayed in good shape.
I don't give a cluck about none of that shit. I'ma still be scared. The hell? I'm good. I'ma always be scared. I'm not scared to admit it. I'm a scared little.
Still, something about this felt off to him.
Hey, side note. This right here, seeing, what's it called? Deforestation. That is such a sad thing to look at. You know? Damn. Don't we already have enough? Huh? How many trees do we tear down versus planting new trees? I feel like the ratio is off. Way off. I feel like for every, 20 trees they tear down, 1 tree is put back up. Like a new tree is planted. Hopefully it's not that. Hopefully for every tree that they tear down, 10 times more is planted or something. I don't know.
As he moved closer, he began to see strange metallic glints. Shopping carts, dozens of them. They were tied to trees with rope hanging for the branches. Some mangled and suspended in bizarre positions, like a twisted jungle gym of rusted steel. It didn't look like a campsite. It looked like a ritual site, like something meant to be seen and feared. Ryan pulled out his phone and started snapping photos. He had to prove this to his friends someday because no one would believe it otherwise. Then, something even stranger caught his eye.
You couldn't, either you was really, really scared because when you took the pictures, it's like the images are like, not blurry, but it's like your hands wasn't stable.
Hung directly above the fire was a charred, old-fashioned duck ornament.
Oh, Jesus.
Sitting in the duck's back was a scorched baby doll. The thing was melted, its limbs warped from heat.
God damn.
Ryan took a photo of that too, but the longer he stared, the more disturbed he felt. His chest began to tighten. The fire was roaring, clearly tended to recently. There were water bottles scattered around. Someone had been there, or currently was there, maybe still watching. He thought about turning around, thought about heading straight back to the trailhead, but something made him keep walking. He tried to convince himself there was nothing, just some weird loner, maybe drunk, probably harmless. Still, he checked over his shoulder more than once. 20 minutes passed, and he put real distance between himself and that eerie camp. But daylight was fading fast, and he needed firewood before it got too dark. He veered off the trail again, this time to gather supplies. He wasn't worried. He had emergency wood in his pack, but not enough to last the entire night. He needed more. After about an hour of preparation, Ryan had set up his tent and built a small fire. It was around 9 p.m. when he prepped a steak and potato meal in foil and nestled it in the glowing embers. He smoked another joint to dull the anxiety, and for a while, everything seemed okay again. With his meal finished and the fire crackling, Ryan settled in for the night. He turned on a pre-downloaded playlist of true crime podcasts, listening to Cold Case Files as the four...
Out of all things you could have listened to. Out of all things. Out of all things, man. You chose to listen to some crime shit.
Around him darkened. There was no signal out there, no distractions, just firelight and static-filled voices recounting unsolved murders.
Oh, yeah?
At some point, he drifted off to sleep, but it didn't last. He woke up suddenly. The air inside his tent felt colder. The fire outside had dimmed. He checked his phone. 4 a.m. He didn't know what had woken him up until he heard it. Whistling.
Damn.
A slow, eerie tune carried through the trees surrounding his camp. He froze.
Hey! Y'all remember? I think it was last year. I was reacting to a Mr. Nightmare video, right? And it was like the guy kept hearing whistling. I don't know if it was all his life or when he was a child he heard whistling. And then when he was a little bit older, he heard whistling. But he was like, I don't know if it was like during like a 4th of July. But he was like next to some body of water. And somebody was whistling. I don't really know what I forget. I cannot think about the title of that video. I think it was 4th of July. So I think it was some sort of fireworks or something. But that is so weird. Because I remember that. And then now I'm hearing this. Man.
His body wouldn't move. It was like something inside him had shut down.
I promise you. On everything I love, word to my mother, if I was in your situation, there ain't shit being frozen. Ain't nothing being still. I'm hauling ass. I'm moving like a mother clucker. So that's the shit I don't understand. People will be in these cluck ass situations and they talking about, oh, I paused. Oh, my body froze. Clock that. Clock that bitch. Fuck. Oh, shit. Before I reacted to this video, I went to the gym. And so, my stuff. My muscles is cramping up. Okay. Sorry. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not being frozen. Nothing on me is locking up. I'm not like, I'm moving.
He lay motionless, listening as the sound crept closer. Then the whistling stopped. What followed was worse. Soft footsteps, fast, light, and quiet, circling his tent. He couldn't see them, but he could hear them crunching twigs and shifting leaves.
Oh, yeah?
His heart pounded in his throat.
Oh, okay.
Then, without thinking, his body finally snapped into motion. He jumped up, threw on his boots, and burst out of the tent. What made it worse, what twisted the fear into something primal, was that the footsteps had come from the direction he had entered the trail. The way back to safety was now blocked. He had no choice but to run deeper into the forest. He sprinted as fast as he could, crashing through brush and low branches. But behind him, he could hear more footsteps, multiple, and they weren't in sync. The sounds overlapped, too fast and scattered to just be one person. There were two of them, maybe more. For 5 straight minutes, he ran until his lungs burned and his legs begged for rest. He found a dense cluster of trees and dove into the underbrush, burying himself in leaves and tangled roots. He didn't move. He barely breathed. The footsteps faded, distant now, but he didn't dare come out. He waited, still and silent in the dark. Eventually, he knew he had to move. He crawled through the forest with branches cutting into his arms and legs. Every step was slow and careful. When the trees finally began to thin, he broke into one final sprint. He recognized the trailhead, the way out, and he ran without stopping. No one followed him after that. The forest was quiet, but the damage was done. He got back to his accommodation and immediately reported the incident to the police. They took his statement and promised to investigate, but he never heard anything back. To this day, Ryan believes the people who chased him were the same ones who built that bizarre shrine of carts and dolls. What they were doing out there and what they wanted, he doesn't know. But it was more than just a creepy encounter. To him, it felt ritualistic, cult-like. He finished his contract and returned home, but the memory never left him. He still remembers the sound of footsteps, the whistling, and the feeling of helplessness. If there's anything to learn from this story, it would be to trust your instincts. If you find something that doesn't feel right, you should leave. Ryan almost didn't, and he knows he might not have lived to tell the story if he had stayed. This video was me experimenting with a slightly different style. If any of you have personal scary experiences that include photos or videos and you'd like to submit them, email them to me and I'll try to make this style of video a new series. Also, if you haven't already, click the bell icon and turn on all notifications because apparently only 15% of you have done so. And that would really help out the channel.
Hey, shouts out to Mr. Nightmare. You know, he's been doing YouTube for a long time. And he's still finding new ways of doing adding new things to his YouTube channel. Yeah, ain't nothing locking up on me. I'm moving. I would never understand people being frozen in fear, talking about they can't move, talking about they can't talk, they can't yell, they can't nothing. There's a whole lot of I can't do this, I can't do that. Yes, you can. It's just a mental thing. I promise you I'm not in that situation. I'm out of there. What you talk about? What? Man, please. Please. Damn. Keep it cool, keep it classy, and I love you. Stay happy, my family.